This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And Tuesday afternoons, Wyoming Sports Talk Today being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne, KRAE Avenue, Yellowstone Road, corner of Delrange and Ridge, Pershing and Ridge, and on the South Greeley Highway. It's a pretty simple drill on Tuesday. Taco Tuesday at Taco John's. And again, also your home for the Taco Perfecto. Taco John's of Cheyenne. Kia of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. Again, the lot filled with, of course, wonderful Kia products, including the 2020 model year. Some 19 still remain. Must go, AJ says. We'll do what we need to do to put you in one of those wonderful Kia cars over at Kia of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Platte Valley Bank over on Vanda High and at the corner of College and Pershing. You Eastsiders, you can catch them on the way home. And again, banking for you Monday through Friday, including all of the things you expect from a quality bank like Platte Valley Bank. Check them out today. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Delrange across from Powers Field and Menards, Ray and Cindy's Place. 3 delicious squares served up Monday through Saturday. Dine in, use the 2 convenient drive-thrus. And again, over at Chick-fil-A, mac and cheese, their frosted caramel coffee, and a host of other goodies for you when you look at the menu over at Chick-fil-A, Windmill, and Delrange. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs. Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse, a convenient drive-thru, or do your business inside Monday through Saturday. B&B Appliance and TV at 714 Central Avenue. Saw my buddy Bruce today over at B&B Appliance, looking over some new microwaves for Casa de Proetti. And I'm telling you, over at B&B, you will find Maytag, GE, Frigidaire, Whirlpool, just to mention some quality brands that you can put in your home, whether it's in the laundry room or maybe you need a new dishwasher, or in my case, I need a new microwave. So again, check out what Bruce and the crew have over at B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Remember, they service what they sell. Lennox Auto Body over on Dunn Avenue, the Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard. Hey, when you go to the Auto Body Shop on Dunn Avenue and you get your work done, expect it to come back almost factory new. That's the quality of work that you can expect always from Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard, the Auto Body Shop over on Dunn Avenue. First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, offering some sensational CD rates right now with great annual percentage yields. You got to talk to my good friends over at First Tier Bank today, open Monday through Friday. Cross Street, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D, the Greenway Commons, Paisan cuisine at its best. Family recipes, again, not corporate recipes. You want it. You want that home style touch. Well, you're going to get it from Joe and the crew over at Mondello's Pizzeria. The pizza ranked top 10 in the nation by the folks at the Food Network. That's how good the food is at Mondello's Pizzeria. Open 7 days a week, Sundays noon until 8. And it's scoreboard time. It's being brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. We go to Nick.
NHL action for tonight. New York Islanders hosting the Ottawa Senators. You also, too, will see the Carolina Hurricanes. They will travel to Philadelphia to see the Flyers at the Wells Fargo Center. Columbus Blue Jackets at home. They will take on the Vegas Golden Knights. Montreal Canadiens will play host to Boston Bruins. This is a game you can see on NBC Sports Network tonight at 5:30. Toronto Maple Leafs at home. They will host the LA Kings. New Jersey Devils will travel across the border to see the Winnipeg Jets. Dallas Stars at home at American Airlines Center will play host to the Colorado Avalanche. That's a 6:30 at least start time on Altitude Network. If you are a Dish subscriber, DirecTV, I think they got that all locked up. So at least on the satellite side, you can watch it here in this area.
Finally,
Calgary Flames at home. They will host the Arizona Coyotes. St. Louis Blues will travel up north as well. They will see the Vancouver Canucks at Honda Center in Anaheim. The Anaheim Ducks host the Minnesota Wild. And last but not least, the Chicago Blackhawks on the road. They will be in the Shark Tank to see the San Jose Sharks at game also, too, on NBC Sports Network tonight around 8 o'clock. So that's what's happening NHL action for tonight. And to want to remind folks, coming up this Friday here on 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com is where you can hear the contest. It will be Class 4A semifinal action between the number 4 seed Chinese Thunderbirds, who will be on the road to see the number 1 seed Thunder Basin Bolts. That game happening up in Gillette, Wyoming this Friday, 6 o'clock kickoff, 5:20-ish pregame show here on 1480 KRAE.
Major League Baseball, Bupkis until April. So let's go to the NBA scoreboard. It's the Pacers and the Hornets tonight in the Spectrum Center in Charlotte. At the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio. No longer the Quicken Loans Arena. Cavaliers hosting the Celtics. It will be the Spurs and the Hawks at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, GA. Chesapeake Energy Arena in OKC for the Thunder and the Magic this evening. Lakers and the Bulls will hook up at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. Also on tonight's schedule in the can at the Pepsi Center, Denver Nuggets will host the Miami Heat. Correct me if I'm wrong, James Johnson and the Miami Heat will be in town. Yeah, he's still with them as they will hook up with the Nuggets. Nuggets currently 4-2 on the season. Scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
I'm Nate.
And I'm Kate.
And we're not just literal taste buds. We're best buds.
Highway safety funds. Family-owned and operated Lennox Auto Body, along with the Auto Glass and Detail Center, has been serving our community for over 25 years with quality service and workmanship. So when you want it done right the first time, call Lennox Auto Body at 634-6608 for an appointment. Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue. And the Auto Glass and Detail Center, remember, it's not clean until it's Lennox clean at 617 East Pershing Boulevard.
Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
The team at Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Delrange, directly across from Powers Field and Menards, are proud sponsors of the student-athletes for the 2019-2020 school year for high school and LCCC. Not only do they support the athletes, but they are ready for your next cater-out event, meeting, or gathering. A special thank you to Chick-fil-A and all they do for 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYOI-FM during the year. For more information, call Chick-fil-A at 638-4444.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-through window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-through window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
What if your bank was more than a bank? What if they gave their resources and the time and talents of their employees to make their community just a little bit better? At Platte Valley Bank, we do just that. Hi, this is Rick Flood, president of Platte Valley Bank, and we are proud to support local events, causes, organizations, and charities that make our area a great place to live. Platte Valley Bank, putting our customers and communities first. Stop in or check us out at pvbank.com.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be sunny with highs around 53 and winds out of the west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. If it's tonight, it'll be clear skies with lows around 27. On Wednesday, it'll be partly cloudy with highs around 39. And on Wednesday night, it'll be cloudy with lows around 19.
Fat, lazy, and stupid is no way to conduct a sports talk radio show. We've thrown down the gauntlet, upped the stakes, and made it clear that when it comes to sports talk radio in Cheyenne, there's a new player in town. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
As I mentioned earlier, the Miami Heat in the can tonight taking on the Denver Nuggets. Yeah, James Johnson, former Cheyenne's product, will be part of the Heat. Can you believe he's already 32 years old, starting his 11th season in the NBA? Wasn't he 32 when you guys were in high school?
Sure.
Holy cow.
Hey! I mean, the guy graduated 1 year before me. So.
Well, but again, it's good to see that he will be in, 100 miles down the road watching some hoops tonight. Hey, we got Brad Morrison joining us all the way as we go I-80 to the east in Burns, Wyoming, the Burns Bronx football head coach. Brad, so glad that you could join us once again on Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It's awesome.
Hey, Brad, we know that you're in your second year, and you're not wrapping up your second year. You're far from that. But I thought of you in a similar situation to Coach Mike Apodaca at Cheyenne Central. He came in a little later last year and put his program in for the Indians, and it took a while for them. And then, of course, this year, they got another. The veterans had a year under their belt, and they're starting to perform the way Coach Apodaca wants. You're in that similar situation over there in Burns, with some of the guys that came back as veterans, feeling a little better about that system that was in place last year. And they have really taken the bull by the horn, so to speak, over there in Burns.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Your first year is all about your expectations and your standards and building the culture. And then the second year, you raise those standards a little bit, but you're not installing all this new terminology. You're not doing all those things. The kids are more comfortable. And, they bought in last year, and they bought in more this year. Participation was up in the weight room. All those second-year things that you're hoping to see, we saw this year, and it's showing up on the field.
When did you have a feeling about this team this season? Again, you know what you got with these young men. You've been with them for a few months right now. But when did you feel that this season was going to be something special?
Man, I've been so blessed with the guys I have around me. I knew in the summer when we were getting 20-some hits a day that we were going to have a chance to beat anybody. Had some doubts around week 3 and 4. Lost a tough one to Moorcroft. Lost a tough one, got shut out at home by Buffalo. But then week 5, we kind of came together. Boys played for each other, and since then we've just been rolling. I think I've had a really good feeling since about week 5 of this season.
Well, it's something that for Burns, at least for the Bronx so far here in 2019, again, has paid off dividends. Again, as you talk about the regular season, where it kind of led to, again, with Burns at least entering the postseason as the number 2 seed out of the East in Class 2A. You look at what you did in the quarterfinals, but we'll go back to this past Friday there at Burns hosting Big Piney, where you took care of business big time, 57-6, which, again, will now move on the Burns Bronx to the semifinals, where you'll have a day with Mountain View, the number 1 team out of the West, coming up this Friday. Again, 1 p.m. is the kickoff time for that contest. But let's talk about this past Friday's contest against Big Piney, where, again, you took care of business. Your team could put a lot of points on the board, and also, too, you almost came away with that at least shutout victory in the postseason. You got to be very proud of what you saw this past Friday.
Yeah, those guys had a great week of practice. Our guys did. They believe in each other. Like I've said before, it seems like a cliche, but they've just stayed bought in no matter what. And we told them that if we came out and played the way that we could play, that it'd be over by halftime, and it ended up going that way. I think we had a bad snap on our first series and turned it over on downs, and then we scored on every possession after that. It was a really cold night, and we feel like that plays into our favor, just being a kind of a power run team. So the conditions were good. It was a long trip for them, and we were really physical from the jump, especially on defense.
Brad, you mentioned Buffalo, and it's kind of ironic, too, because they are the number 1 seed out of the East, and they're playing 2A football. And again, if we base things on population, Buffalo has no business being in Class 2A. Obviously, the Wyoming High School Activities Association for next season is going to bump them back up to 3A. I know it is what it is, but do you feel kind of gypped sometimes that you have a team with Buffalo in Class 2A?
Kind of honestly, kind of the opposite. I feel like that's even an even bigger opportunity for a school. A lot of people don't know about. A lot of people kind of write off to do something big. To go beat a team you got no business beating on paper, to go playing real tough. It didn't happen this year with Buffalo. We had some injuries and things like that got in the way there. But I'm just happy to have a chance to, knock out the big boys. I think that's something any small school that has success wonders is, well, how good are we really? And playing these Mountain Views and these Buffaloes and these big schools lets us test ourselves against teams that, like I said, we got no business being in the game with. So for us to go compete with them and give them a tough shot is pretty cool for our kids.
Well, looking at Class 2A, the upcoming semifinal matchup again, as you mentioned, with Buffalo, the number 1 team out of the East. They'll be taking on the number 3 seed out of the East, Thermopolis, for you, at least head coach Brad Morrison. Again, that is your former stopping grounds up there with Thermop. So, again, a chance if Burns is able to get past this semifinal matchup against Mountain View, and we'll see what barring the at least outcome is for that state title game. Again, you got some interesting matchup there with the possible former team and the current at least team you got there with Burns. But as we look at your matchup coming up this Friday, again, 1 p.m. kickoff against Mountain View. We look back to what happened this past Friday between Mountain View, number 1 team in Class 2A, taking on Wheatland, where it was a complete shutout. It was a complete whipping by Mountain View, 72-0. Again, we look at your contest where your team can put points on the board with 57, but now you're going to face a Mountain View team that's not too shabby as well, too, on the offensive side of things, and also, too, pitching that shutout as well, too, on the defense.
Yeah, I mean, when you watch Mountain View on film, they're like a small college team. I mean, they're big. They're all really athletic. They got some. I mean, they deserve every ranking and accolade that they've got this year. They're really well coached. They do some good stuff on defense. It's tough to block up. Offensively, they spread you out and make you cover their, really good superior athletes one-on-one, and they win those battles a lot. So. Really tough for teams to stop. I do think that we match up pretty well with them with what we do. I don't think they've seen anybody like us, and I think we'll give them hell.
Coach, I feel like I'm asking the Weiner questions here. You got a 1:00 game on Friday in Mountain View, and for folks that don't know, over by Fort Bridger. So we're talking, 4-hour-plus drive on I-80. Luckily, weather will be conducive to play some football on Friday. So give us the travel plans that you have for your Broncs, and let's talk about that 1:00 start.
Yeah, to my knowledge, they play all their games at that time because they don't have lights on their field. There's a couple schools out there in that part of the state that don't have lights, and they play day games all the time. So that's kind of why that happens. But as far as our travel, we'll leave Thursday right around lunchtime. We'll stop and practice in Rock Springs, eat dinner there, get to the hotel, and then wake up and eat breakfast, and then have a little team meeting, then roll down to Mountain View.
So let's talk about this Mountain View Buffaloes team. Like you said, they're like a small college team as you watch them on film. What makes this team difficult to defense? Let's go first on the offensive side.
All right. They got a really good quarterback. It's the coach's kid. Good decision maker, pretty good arm, really good athlete. He's a lot like our quarterback, Caden Lakin. Can hurt you with his legs and with his arm. They got a big running back. Really big kid, probably 215. Runs really hard in between the tackles, and then they go 4 wide receivers, and their 2 outside kids are tremendous. One's number 15 and one's number 10. Number 10 was the offensive player of the year last year in their conference, and they moved him from running back to wide receiver. So they've got a ton of dudes. Then up front, they're really athletic, really big. Do some good stuff, trapping your guys, giving you some misdirection things still out of spread. They run the jet sweep. So, I mean, it's just a lot to handle. You got to really cover your P's and Q's with alignment, with having your eyes in the right place, not get fooled by anything, and And it's going to, it always comes down to blocking and tackling. We got to beat blocks and make tackles, not let them get loose into our secondary.
We're talking with Brad Morrison, Burns Bronx football head coach. We're going to flip it over to the defensive side, and again, especially in the small schools, like we see, even in Class 4A, we don't see fully everybody playing both ways. But again, in Mountain View as well as Burns, you're going to see a lot of the same characters on the defensive side. This is a very active bunch defensively.
Yeah, I think they've only given up like 4 touchdowns this year. You got to tackle that number 19 when they're on offense. Then you got to turn around and he's playing middle back or flying to the ball every time. He's a pretty good player, so we'll have to block him up and do some things to make sure he can't flow so hard. Their defensive end, number 50, probably the best defensive player in the state. I know he's like a 400-meter runner, went to state in the 400, and he weighs 200 and some pounds and plays defensive end. So that kind of tells you the sort of speed they have, which you guys know is huge on defense. And then in their secondary, they're solid. All their backers play really disciplined football with their eyes and their hands, making sure they're in the right gaps, and it's really tough to trick them on reads. So we're going to have to just, it all comes down to blocking and tackling. We're going to have to beat blocks and then break some tackles to get positive yards against them.
So as you talk about that, and again, get the scouting report of this Mountain View team, again, that you'll see coming up this Friday in the Class 2A semifinals here in 2019. But at least Coach Morrison, outside of what you just mentioned there of establishing tackles and trying to get it past some of those bigs, but for Burns to get past this Mountain View team to move on to the state title game in Laramie, what are kind of the key factors, things that you need to focus on, your team needs to focus on to get past this Mountain View team to have a chance at a state championship?
Yeah, I think any time for a team that doesn't have as much, weaponry, if you want to put it that way, to win, you got to, number one, take care of the ball. We can't afford turnovers or penalties because if you get behind the sticks against them, they're really good at heating up your quarterback and taking away the short stuff, make you try and beat their good corners deep. So staying on schedule on first down runs is going to be big. You probably get into your bag a little bit with some wrinkles and some gadgets early, and try and get some home run plays, make some big plays there. So we're definitely going to throw the kitchen sink at them. I mean, we're not going to hold anything back. We're going to run our stuff and then run some good specials that we have off of that early. Try and get on the board, and then I think with a team like that, they're used to blowing everybody out. They probably haven't played a whole football game all year. Their varsity haven't. So if you can put a couple scores up in the first half and make it a game, you kind of drag them into deep waters that they haven't been into before. And a team like us that really just pounds the ball, that's also something that they haven't seen all year. So I think I like our matchup. I like our kids. I like our focus and our attention to detail. And I think that those things can amount to an upset.
My final thought, Brad, you answered half of the question already. As you have already got the playbook in play throughout the course of the season for the Bronx, as you were watching film, breaking down stuff on Mountain View, and you mentioned the ever-lovely gadget play, did you see something there that said, hey, we could possibly pull this off against them? Is that something that you grabbed the guys this week and said, hey, we need to run this play? I think it's a winner.
Yeah, we do it a little different. We kind of we have that stuff in since like week 2 or 3. I'm a big believer that you don't run anything that you put in like a day. So we're going to practice there's so many details on those special plays that you have to do right for it to be successful if they defend it well. So we have stuff that we've been running for a month or 6 weeks that we haven't run in a game yet that we're excited about and the kids believe in. And that would be kind of what I'd lean to is, oh yeah, this is a good time to do this, or this is a good situation for this. But anytime you're gonna take down the king, you gotta have some up your sleeve.
Well, Coach, Nick and myself, we wish you all the best, and everybody here on this part of the county. Wish the Burns Broncs all the best this Friday afternoon. I know we'll be en route to Thunder Basin at the time of the conclusion of your game, but again, we hope you get that opportunity to make it over to Laramie the week after.
No, I appreciate it, man. I know our kids do too. Thanks for having me on.
All right, Brad Morrison, Burns Broncs football head coach, join us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today, 3:27 our time. Take a timeout. We'll come right back.
Hop into the KRAE Time Machine each Monday through Thursday for the golden age of radio, featuring famous radio classics such as Jack Armstrong and Suspense Theater, along with pioneers in the entertainment industry like Bob Hope and Abbott and Costello, along with many other performers who've captured our ears many, many years ago. Join us for the golden age of radio Monday through Thursday, 8 until 10 p.m. on 1480 KRAE, also 101.1 FM, and you can also stream all of our programming on 1480KRAE.com.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
B&B Appliance and TV has been your locally owned appliance store for 49 years. Not only do we offer several major brands, we also service what we sell. And we have the largest parts department in Laramie County. Next time you're in a big box store, just ask to see their parts and service department. Then come visit the appliance experts at B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Best brands, hometown service.
Welcome to the biggest thing in tacos since tacos. Introducing the Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. That's right, we said it. Perfecto. That's Spanish for perfect. We redesigned it with an aerodynamic shell to give you the best bite every bite. Choose between seasoned to perfection beef, chili lime chicken, or upgrade to hand-carved sirloin steak. Sure, it was hard to perfect, but it's easy to eat. The Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
The holidays are a wonderful time of year. Spending precious moments with friends and family. Are you struggling to hear meaningful conversations or know loved ones that are? Give yourself or loved ones the gift of hearing. We even gift wrap. This is Dr. Ruby Zubrod with Brandt Audiology and Tinnitus, reminding you to hear better, live better. Call us at 426-4327 or visit us at brandtaudiology.com.
From family-owned and operated Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company, they would like to simply say thank you for your continued support. They are thankful this year, as in years past, for your friendship as well as business. Coming soon, please check out the beautiful selection of fresh-cut Christmas trees and wreaths, plus there's always great gift ideas inside the spacious gift center. Sincere thanks and wonderful holiday wishes from your friends at Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company on Yellowstone Road in North Cheyenne.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We're back on Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Again, the Mountain View Buffaloes and the Burns Broncs Friday afternoon, 1 o'clock. And again, not being a whiner or anything like that, Nick, but again, Mountain View about 3 times the size of Burns, and they also have a lot to draw from around that part of the world as well.
Bring it up to the Activities Association.
No,
we're going to see that shift. It's the same situation of how. For me, again, looking at, we haven't at least gone to 3A, and again, we previewed 2A, at least talked about those semifinal matchups. Again, Mountain View, 1 seed out of the West of Class 2A, taking on number 2 seed out of the East, Burns Broncs, again, Friday at 1 p.m. Again, also, the other semifinal matchup will be the number 1 seed out of the East, Buffalo, taking on the number 3 seed out of the East, Thermopolis, 6 p.m. Friday. So, again, there's at least that matchup. But you look at Class 3A, which we have not talked about. Number 1 team out of the West, Star Valley, who plays in Class 4A basketball on both boys and girls, plays in Class 3A for whatever reason, but at least in the football side of things. But at Star Valley, they're the 1 seed out of the West, taking on the number 3 seed out of the West, Jackson. Jackson as well, too, plays in Class 4A boys and girls basketball. So those two will face off
against each other. They got over 10,000 population in Jackson.
I'm just saying it doesn't make any sense what the Activities Association classification is. But, again, that will be a Friday 6 o'clock game. And then also, too, the other semifinal matchup in Class 4A will be the number 2 seed out of the West, Cody. They'll take on the number 4 seed out of the West, Powell.
Right.
That's Friday 6 o'clock as well, too.
But you look at Buffalo. 4,600 people live in the city. Okay, so look at Burns. There's 400 people. And again, I know they draw for some outside interests, but it's like, where's the thinking sometimes? And again, even Wheatland's almost about 5,000 population as well.
Is it something that the Activities
you just bang your head against the wall?
Is it something that the Activities Association has to expand back to a five class?
Let's not get back and let's not throw that back in their lap.
I'm just saying, again, back in, at least in my play days, we were part of 5 classes. It was Class 5A, 4A, again, East Central. Again, that was part of Class 5A.
Never was 5A. It was all.
There was a 5A. You might want to look back into your history. We were a 5-class system.
I always thought it was 4, 3, 2, 1. And then 11-man.
Well, 11-man wasn't even part of
1A. It was 1A, 11-man. Then you had 1A, 6-man.
But you might want to go back and look at that. But again, it was pretty sure of a Class 5A. But either way, semantics on what the classifications is, because again, it doesn't make any sense of what team goes where and where we align, and just how the movement works up and down. Again, where you have Star Valley, Jackson, all these teams moving up to 4A in basketball, but yet sit in 3A. Again, nothing against Cheyenne South, but is it South a program that, yes, has the numbers to put him up in Class 4A and kind of solidify him up there? Without a doubt. That's more attendance at the school. We know for football-wise.
Enrollment, 9 through 12, absolutely.
Yeah, but the thing we've always argued against is that Cheyenne South needs to desperately look at of moving down a class for all major sports, or at least some sports, to just get back, at least get those student athletes involved with those programs, including football.
And build it up.
Again, where could you move up a Star Valley, who is number 1, it seems to be completely dominant in Class 4A, who's made the shift up in other sports up into Class 4A. We'll see what happens. Again, the classifications did get aligned. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago of who's moving where up and down. Again, there's no movement in or outside of the Class 4A. That has been untouchable, but we'll see what happens. Do want to mention as well, too, in Class 4A, there has been a time change, not for our game, but at least for the Sheridan Central game. That has been bumped up an hour to now kick off officially this Friday between Sheridan and Cheyenne Central, and that semifinal matchup is now 5 instead of 6
Was there
o'clock.
a reason for bumping that up?
I did not see it. If anything, that might be a Coach Mallory decision of, hey, let's bump it up 1 hour. So, again, our game is still at 6, but Sheridan versus Central is now an official 5 o'clock start time coming up this Friday.
And looking at weather for both locations, should be good weather for both football games. I think it's going to be a little more breezy where we're going to be at Thunder Basin, but other than that, kickoff temperature is not going to be too bad. So good fall weather for football. Real quick before, matter of fact, we have Vic Fangio's press conference coming up, Denver Broncos head coach. But we talked about it yesterday afternoon in our 4 o'clock hour. We want our 3 o'clock hour folks to get involved in this as well with our petition. And starting to garner some steam. Thank you very much to those that have signed in. And you obviously will talk more about it, but just so I can just chime in real quick again, hey, this doesn't cost you a nickel to do this. We really need your support. We want to show the Wyoming High School Activities Association that, hey, we're pretty PO'd. And I've been reading a couple of the comments, too, and I appreciate those comments because they pretty much say exactly what people were saying to us about carrying the games live.
It's something that has also, too, been discussed, whether it's social media, on Twitter, Facebook. Again, it's sentiments that have been nothing new, that have been tweeted at or mentioned at towards the Activities Association, but have done nothing, again, regarding this contract that they have with the NFHS network and just the live stream. Again, let's be honest, again, to not beat down the network, so to speak. Again, the network does at least have the options and availability to showcase off volleyball, which again we unfortunately do not cover, or at least do not broadcast any high school volleyball games. Same with soccer, swim meets. Again, it's there for those options for those student athletes that, again, are in those kind of non-major sports, so to speak, in high schools. But again, that's the kind of slight positive of, hey, that network can be there everywhere at once, where unfortunately we're limited to the bodies that we have. And again, we can only focus on the majors of football and basketball.
Well, and we've been doing football and basketball for umpteen years. So, and again, what we've added to our roster is for the last, we'll start our third year, as we've added LCCC men's and women's basketball. So we've added more games that we cover throughout the course of the fall winter sports season. But the thing is, again, Nick went out and wrote a nice little story about what we're not trying to. Is anything going to change? No, nothing's going to change, so to speak. But we want the Wyoming High School Activity Association.
Kind of a stupid thing to say. We're trying to get something changed. And again, this is the reason why I got the petition.
It's not going to happen this Friday. That's what I'm trying to say.
You're an idiot.
No, I'm not an idiot.
Why would you say?
Listen, moron. It's not going to change anything for Friday. We've already been told.
Yeah, we know that, but again,
that's
it's
what I'm
something
saying.
that we're trying to change at least some part of the future.
We want the High School Activities Association to know that your ruling is not right. And the people that have signed on
and again, it's the Activities Association and the network of what they've done of pairing this contract that has barred us and others from doing it, at least due to the fact of those schools that have at least partnered with or at least got under at least the camera equipment from the NFHS and been a part of that network, so to speak. So it is something that, yes, we are able to, during the regular season for basketball and football, bring you at least the video live streams. But again, they have barred us from at least the postseason, which again is going to garner a little bit more views, a little bit more eyes, because again, these are games that now matter even more. And again, it is do or die situations for these teams in basketball, in football, again, especially with regionals and also to state tournament in the basketball side of things. But it's something that all we're trying to do is say, hey, Activities Association, NFHS Network, we want a shot, we want an opportunity to compete with you during that at least postseason play, where, again, instead of having the monopoly and everyone having to shell out $10 here a month or, again, $70 for an entire year, where they might just use it for that one game and that's it. And again, folks out here where that money might not be able to at least come by, or again, they already have enough bills stacked upon them that, hey, that excess little $10 or $70 is just not going to be a thing to at least attend.
Again, our service has been free. It's been free from the inception of this of our live stream. But let me throw this out at you right now. And I thought about this earlier today. You have women's fast pitch coming up, okay? You can't live stream it at Bremer. You can't live stream it over at
you
Converse.
Again, those are city fields, so
yeah.
I would hope not.
So if we decide to do fast pitch, or even if anybody else decides to do it as well, we're going to bring our stuff out there.
Yeah.
So are you going to bar us during the postseason as well? Because what if Easter Central makes the postseason and they're hosting? You going to tell us we can't live stream? You have no cameras there, so you obviously the NFHS doesn't even come into play.
We'll see when we get down that road. That's 2 years from now.
I know, I understand that, but again, I'm looking. I also have to look things into the future. But again, I look at what they're trying to pull here, and I get more and more disturbed by this. I really do. And again, I read some of the comments of people, and it's like, you know what, you guys in Casper are doing us wrong. You're doing us broadcasters very wrong.
Well, you're also doing a disservice to fans across the state, for high school athletic just supporters, and again for families, for those outside of the state of Wyoming, also for potential recruits. Recruiting opportunities where, again, looky-loos who might come across the Periscope or YouTube side of things and might want to tune in to see, oh, hey, here's this Cardo Labatos guy. I got to check him out to see if I want him to come over to my D3, D2, D1 school or something like that, just as an example. But it is something that, especially for the postseason, which, again, garners a lot of attention for the right reasons, because, again, it is games to determine these are the best teams as of now competing for that chance at a state championship opportunity, without a doubt. If anything, what the Activities Association, it's nothing. It is a disservice against us as broadcasters across the state of Wyoming who do it as of right now and those who may do it down the line. But again, it's a big disservice to families, to supporters, to, again, high school sports enthusiasts, whoever it may be. You're doing them a disservice to now isolate them to one area to, again, have to shell out money for something like this. And again, not give them a good product for, bang for their buck, so to speak. You're not getting it with the NFHS in some way, shape, or form, whether it's lack of audio, a miscue on the visual side, a miscue on the scoreboard, whatever it may be. Again, it's clearly not the perfect system, and also, too, it's a system that, is it worth the $10.99? To be determined. And it doesn't seem like it, again, of the comments right now. It doesn't show that it's worth that money at all.
Well, and I look at where we have evolved over the years from the audio standpoint, where before we had to put in our own phone lines, and then the school districts decided to put in phone lines, and then we got away from phone lines. We're all pretty much right now using our own little systems. We all buy, and again, I'm just going to throw our package. We buy a Verizon package where I can go anywhere, you and I know this. We can go anywhere we want, hook the bad boy up. We don't need a phone line anymore. We use our own phone line. And again, we don't ask the school districts here anymore for, hey, I need this, I need that. The only thing we ever need is a place to sit down, plug in, and go for it.
Yeah, that's essentially it.
So in essence, we now are saving, whether it's South, and again, we got 3 schools here, South, East, and Central. We don't ask them, hey, you need to spend this, you need to buy that. We don't need anything from them. We even provide our own internet.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We buy our own internet.
Yeah, we do.
So again, it really disturbs me how the Wyoming High School Activity Association, again, the NFHS may be the governing body, but I think what they did, so they don't get hassled, is they said, okay, each state, you take care of it, and you do it the way you want it to be done. Well, Wyoming High School Activities Association said, hey, you know what? Because, again, I still, even after yesterday's rant by me, I still have not received anything from the commissioner about this.
I wouldn't expect anything outside of once we send that petition to at least to them and show them of, hey, the support that we've gotten, along with also to a few comments of saying, hey, this is unfair, or give them an opportunity. Again, that's all we're asking for. We're just plain and simple. Again, we're not asking for money. We're not asking for a miracle to be made. It's just give us a chance.
Yeah. Like
just give us a chance to compete.
We make nothing out of this. Matter of fact,
again, again, it's essentially of just let it be kind of democratic, so to speak, and let the folks decide.
Yeah, and the nice thing was we actually had a sponsor who stepped forward and said, hey, we know it's going to cost money to do this. Because, again, they set the price tag. We didn't.
Or at least we thought they set the price tag.
The number was thrown at us, and we said, okay. And a sponsor said, sure, I'll take care of it. Because, again, asking me to throw some cash out, I'm broke. I mean, do you think about it? These things, I don't make any big, huge cash off of it either. But all I ask is, again, Nick, and I'll let you go and explain how to do all this again. We just need you to sign the petition. And hell, all the people that have signed up for tickets, our ticket giveaways, just drop in there, and it takes, about 5 minutes, even less than that, to get on this petition. Just put your name on it so we can ship it off to the High School Activities Association and tell them, hey, you know what, we're not happy.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Go
find that petition online. Again, it's been posted and pinned at the top of various social medias, whether it is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on Facebook, 1480 KRAE's Facebook page, also too on Twitter on my personal account, which is Nick at least at Nick Wyo Sports. Again, those are the 3 ways. I do believe you even posted on KYOY's Facebook page. So again, many different ways to find it. Again, also to share it if you like to. Again, we would appreciate that share for more eyes to at least look into this and potentially sign this. Again, we are close to our first goal, very close after, again, about a day and a few hours at this point in time. So, again, all we're asking for is just to take that time out of your day, sign it. Again, it is nothing Doesn't cost you anything. Again, it's completely free. It's just something to help us out and to help out other broadcasters around this, to give you at least give you folks a choice, an opportunity to tune in to high school athletics in various ways instead of just having the one NFHS network monopoly in the postseason.
All right, thank you so much. Appreciate that. And again, thank you to those that have signed in. Matter of fact, I'm just looking at a couple more notes here that folks wrote. Do appreciate all those comments as well. And thank you, too, not so much to Nick and myself and Chris, but to the broadcasters, that have had that opportunity to stream games. We're the only ones here in town that are doing it on the Class 4A side. But, again,
we are as of now.
Yeah.
And last year we had competition.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that we're the only ones doing it now in town. But I know there's others that do it even in the lower ranks. But like I said, hopefully we get that opportunity once again to do that. Maybe the championship game. You never know. Take a time out. We come back. Vic Fangio steps up to the microphone, his press conference after these words here on 1480 KRAE. MHP is a certified public accounting and consulting firm located in Bow, Cheyenne, and Fort Collins, offering accounting, tax, and consulting services to businesses, not-for-profit, government, and individual clients. MHP takes pride in their commitment to providing close, personal attention to their clients. They also continue to invest time and resources in continuing education, state-of-the-art computer technology, and valuing their relationships with you. MHP is a proud supporter of local and UW athletics. MHP, 314 West 18th Street, or call 634-2151.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
One of the safest choices drivers and passengers can make is to buckle up every trip, every time. In 2016, seatbelt usage in passenger vehicles saved an estimated 14,668 lives nationally. We know it will save our lives, but too often we forget, many times with dire, potentially fatal results. Make sure you and your passengers buckle up every time. Paid for by Federal Highway Safety Funds. Family-owned and operated Lennox Auto Body, along with the Auto Glass and Detail Center, has been serving our community for over 25 years with quality service and workmanship. So when you want it done right the first time, call Lennox Auto Body at 634-6608 for an appointment. Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue. And the Auto Glass and Detail Center, remember, it's not clean until it's Lennox clean, at 617 East Pershing Boulevard.
Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned, full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be sunny with highs around 53 and winds out of the west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. If tonight, it'll be clear skies with lows around 27. On Wednesday, it'll be partly cloudy with highs around 39. And on Wednesday night, it'll be cloudy with lows around 19.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
How does he have to grow here in the second half? The way he'll grow is to, eliminate mistakes, so-called rookie mistakes, like in one time yesterday. We had a good coverage on, and they checked the ball down to the tight end in the flat for about a 12-yard gain. He needed to be on that guy, and he wasn't. Little things like that.
Overall, how confident do you feel about the core of young offensive players in Sutton, Lindsay, and Pham?
Good. They're all guys that have good talent. At different times in their young careers, they've produced. We need it to be a weekly thing for all of them.
You have kind of a unique mix of players that have contributed, from undrafted guys that came late in waiver claims. what has allowed both the offense and defense to play so well together, even with a lot of new faces?
So well? Well, you just got to go to work with these guys. I mean, I think where you're alluding to is really more so on the defensive side of the ball with, Devontae. We don't get him until after the final cut down first week, and now he started, 4 or 5 games for us. Duke Dawson, same thing. You just got to go to work, and those guys are not totally honed up yet in what we're doing. But we haven't paid a big price for some of their mistakes. Sometimes we do. But you gotta crash course, cram it, expose them to things on the practice field. You have to do a good job teaching through video, and hopefully they can bring it to the field.
How would you assess where you are, Coach, after 9 games? And do you see it as, hey, we got walked off essentially 3 times, we could be right in the mix, or there's a reason we got walked off, and there's kind of where do you see you are, and what are the keys moving forward?
Well, I mean, we've had those 3 walk-off losses, as you describe them. A few of those kickers turned around and missed their next opportunities for that. But, we are 3-6. Could we be better? Yes. Could be worse? No. So, I don't know how to really answer that question other than we had more than our chance to have a much better record than we do. But it is what it is.
What's the most important thing for Brandon to work on between now and Minnesota?
Just to continue to operate the offense. I think another week of practice will do him wonders, which we'll do when we come back from the bye, and we'll have an extra practice that week. He's at the point where he knows our offense. He's been in our meetings since he's gotten here. Same kind of guy that Nicky's alluding to, didn't get here till after preseason was over. But now he's getting an opportunity to practice more. So just practice, I think, will produce the improvements we're looking for.
Sometimes teams have a practice or 2 during this bye week. Why did you decide not to do that this year?
It's kind of gone away, the teams that – I'm not saying I know what everybody does, but you have to give them Thursday through Sunday off. That's the new CBA. You can't really go out today and practice day after a game, nor on Tuesday, in my opinion. And you might say, well, what about when you have a Thursday game? Those aren't practices. Those are walkthroughs. So, I mean, in my opinion, you're really forfeiting a potential practice on Wednesday. And I think most coaches have come to the conclusion that it's just good to get a break rather than a full-blown break rather than really, in my opinion, one practice.
Tim Patrick's return is imminent, but at that 2 and 3 wideout spot, is it going to continue to be kind of by committee between, Deshaun, Deontay, all those guys?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I think you'll see all those guys out there at different times in the different packages when we're playing 1 receiver, 2 receivers, or 3.
Was Justin Simmons a guy you liked coming out of the draft in 2016?
It's a good question. I don't remember, but I do like him now. And I've liked him early on from getting here. So I do like Justin. I think he's a really good player, and I see a bright future for him in a Broncos uniform.
Nick, I know about halfway through the Rockies season, you texted Bud Black and you had visited with him, kind of just like, hey, keep it up through the trying season. Has he reached out to you at all throughout the season, or has that relationship continued?
Yes, he has. Got one yesterday after the game from him. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, he's, we've stricken up a little friendship there, and he had a rough season, as you guys know, although he's a very high qualified and good manager. And so he's just trying to help through the rough times. But, yeah, Bud's a hell of a good guy, and I'm glad I've gotten to meet him.
Does Juwan James have a chance to play?
I don't know that yet.
You decided, is Drew going to come back before Minnesota in terms of starting to practice?
It's still up in the air. Since we're not practicing this week, we don't have to make a decision till next week.
Vic, what does Deshaun Hamilton need to offense in the second half of the season?
Well, yesterday's game was a little unusual. We had those big plays, and we only had in the low 40s of offensive snaps in the game, and we only threw the ball 20 times, and with 12 completions. So there really wasn't a lot of opportunity for a lot of guys, although we got good production out of it. We had, I think it was like 78% of our offense yesterday came in 8 plays. And but to get back to your question, he just needs to keep working at it, and hopefully his opportunities will come.
Last on the record, your defense has played exceedingly well for basically 5 weeks now. What is it you want to see from that group going forward? Is there one element that you think you can tighten up even more?
Yeah, we just need to, I believe, cover a little bit better at times in one-on-one coverage situations. We didn't have a good day yesterday in the secondary of tackling. The receivers, mainly after they caught the ball. That's been unlike us for the most part. Like to see a little bit more pass rush. Those are some of the things.
Lindsey was hauling pretty good toward the sidelines there on that last play. Was that something that you reminded them as coaches about staying in bounds, or was that his instinct to get down there?
Both. We talk about it a lot. Probably every week we show 1 or 2 clips from around the league where that should be done if it wasn't done. We do remind them every time we go out in a situation like that at the end of the game, 4-minute to stay in bounds. But ultimately, his instinct and knowledge has got to take over, and that was really a hell of a play on his part.
After 5 games with Alexander Johnson out there, what do you see in terms of his progress, particularly in the mental assignment side of the game?
Good. He's not perfect yet, but he's played really well for us, and he's been a nice shot in the arm for us, and he's really played good.
With Noah Fant's success yesterday, especially being a rookie who had struggled early, how much mentally do you think that can help him, the fact that he has now seen the success that he can have again?
I think it can. I'm a believer in doing it on the field gives you confidence, not imagining it, not sitting on some Sykes couch, not thinking it. You got to go out and do it. And he did it yesterday. And he's had other times this year where he's done it, albeit inconsistently, as you alluded to. So hopefully this will be a game that can, put him over the top, and at least he knows he can do it. And if a game's not going his way in that regard, he still knows he can do it. And the next play might be the one.
Have you ever coached a game defensively where the opposition has the ball that often in plus territory and does that poorly, I guess, in converting in the red zone? And what do you credit to your defense doing so well on your side of the field?
I probably have, but I can't remember one in particular, but there's been a lot of games. Our guys have just played good down there. We've hung in there versus the run, which is important down there. We try to vary our coverages, and we put a lot of time into it in preparation.
Time for a few more for the coach. What do you see from Derek Wolf this year and how he fits? Because the last couple of years we got here, he's battling injuries off and on, having trouble staying on the field. But why is he fitting so well? What do you see when you watch the film?
Well, he's a good player, as you guys know. He's had a good career here. He's just seemed to have more production in the pass rush this year up to this point than he's had in recent years. I don't really know what he did in his first half of his or first 3 quarters of his career in that regard. But he does like playing in the system. He has said that, I think, from the start. I think it suits his playing style and ability, and he's done a good job with it.
In terms of how you were talking about Noah with the confidence, do you think Garrett Bowles plays that way, and can you get him to play that way?
I think Garrett kind of plays with more confidence than you think, and maybe that is warranted. But he didn't play too bad yesterday. Again, he's a young player still, especially in light of his limited background in football before he got here. And it's our job to maximize and make sure we're doing everything possible to develop him. So if the guy has talent, we want to maximize every opportunity to develop it.
Last one, Arnie Stapleton. Do you see Courtland kind of taking some more leadership since Emmanuel's trade?
Not really. He was a leader before that, and still is. And no, I don't think so.
KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
It is hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's being brought to you by Mondello's Pizzeria. Open 7 days a week, Sundays from noon until 8. 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. First Year Bank directly across the street at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, open Monday through Friday. Lennox Auto Body on Dunn Avenue, the Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard. Remember, at the Auto Glass and Detail Center, it's not clean until it's Lennox clean. B&B Appliance and TV at 714 Central Avenue. Again, they service what they sell. And if you ever need their service, give them a call. Of course, if you shop inside, you will find Whirlpool, Maytag, GE, Frigidaire, just to mention some great brands over at B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Medicap Pharmacy, for all your pharmaceutical needs. Not their first rodeo. They've been there for a long, long time, right next door to Texas Roadhouse on Bluegrass Circle. Chick-fil-A, Windmill, and Delrange serving up 3 delicious squares. Yes, if you have not had breakfast at Chick-fil-A, I suggest you try their hash brown scrambable. It is delicious. And again, they still have their frosted caramel coffee here for a limited time. On the menu is their mac and cheese, and that goes perfect with everything over at Chick-fil-A. Windmill and Delrange across from Powers Field and Menards. Platte Valley Bank ×2, the original location on Vanda High, and of course the east side location, corner of College and Pershing. Kia of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. Check out the great collection of Kias, 2019s and the 2020 model year on the showroom floor as well as on the lot. Take a test drive, take home the Kia of your dreams today on Nation Way. And it's Taco Tuesday at all Taco John's. The iconic Taco Tuesday here in Cheyenne at Taco John's on KRAE, Yellowstone, corner of Delrange and Ridge, corner of Pershing and Ridge, and again on the, South Greeley Highways. I got all choked up about it. Taco John's, Taco Tuesday. What a winning combination. And we get things underway at scoreboard time. It's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
NHL action for tonight. New York Islanders at home at Nassau Coliseum. They'll take on the Ottawa Senators. Carolina Hurricanes, they'll travel to Philadelphia to see the Flyers at the Wells Fargo Center. Columbus Blue Jackets at Nationwide Arena. They will host the Vegas Golden Knights. Montreal Canadiens at home. They will take on the Boston Bruins. You can see that game at 5:30 tonight on NBC Sports Network. Toronto Maple Leafs at home. They will host the LA Kings. New Jersey Devils will travel to Winnipeg to see the Jets. Dallas Stars at American Airlines Center will play host to the Colorado Avalanche. You can see that game tonight at 6:30 on ESPN Plus or Altitude Network as well too on the at least satellite side of the thing. I do believe they came up with a 1-year contract for both Dish and Direct. So again, if you're a satellite subscriber, yes, you are able to watch the Avalanche tonight on Altitude Network. Calgary Flames at home. They will take on the Arizona Coyotes. St. Louis Blues will travel to Vancouver to see the Canucks in Honda Center in Anaheim, California. The Anaheim Ducks will take on the Minnesota Wild. And last but not least, the Chicago Blackhawks travel to San Jose to the Shark Tank to see the Sharks. That game also too on NBC Sports Network tonight, tentative for 8 o'clock. That's what's happening in NHL action for tonight. And coming up this Friday here on 1480 KRAE, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com is where you can hear the contest, as we will have Class 4A semifinal matchup between the number 4 seed Chinese Thunderbirds, as they will travel up north to Gillette to see the Thunder Basin Bolts, who are the number 1 seed in the land, at least in Class 4A. Again, that game coming up this Friday, 6 o'clock at least kickoff, 5:20-ish pregame show here on 1480 KRAE.
And we do want to mention college hoops tonight in the AA. It is the home opener for the Wyoming Cowboys, 7 o'clock.
There's quite a few of college basketball. Basically, tonight's the big one. We have 1 versus 2 matchup as well.
Yeah, but we have Idaho State, the Bengals, taking on the Cowboys. That will be in the AA, 7 o'clock tap time. From the NBA, Pacers and the Hornets tonight in the Spectrum Center in Charlotte. Celtics, Cavaliers at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. It used to be the Quicken Loans, but now it's the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio.
Well, that's the same company.
Yeah, they just changed it from Quicken Loans to Rocket Mortgage. Spurs Hawks at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, GA. Magic Thunder at the Chesapeake Energy Arena in OKC. United Center in Chicago with the Bulls hosting the Lakers and the Denver Nuggets tonight in the Pepsi Center. They have a date with the Miami Heat. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Alright, if you're a gamer, you know the world of gaming is full of amazing gear. Portable cannons, flying tanks, oh, like that one, mythic artifacts. But the most advanced tool in gaming today isn't even in the game. It's right in your hand. Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel is purpose-built for gaming, created with pro gamers for gamers. What does that mean? It means it's formulated with ingredients that have been shown to improve accuracy, whoa, and alertness. And Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel tastes great too. Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel even comes in a special can with a uniquely textured grip, so it's easy to refuel between respawns. The ones you're furiously trying to avoid? Hey, there we go. So next time you log online, gear up. Get the drink designed for gaming. Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Before we get into the NFL, just want to mention, too, in the Cowboys-Idaho State game tonight, and hopefully the Cowboys play a lot better than they did in their exhibition win over Northwestern Nazarene. I mean, it was like 62-56.
Northwestern is, what, D3? Again, they're...
It was awful.
Well, yeah, they were... Again, it's an exhibition game. How much you read into it, it's kind of like preseason with various pro sports of... Hey, again, a team could go 0-4 and have a winning record, or at least in the regular season. I don't know how much to read into that. We'll see. This is kind of that first true test. Clearly, again, it is the start of the regular season for the Cowboys. Again, Idaho State, not a powerhouse in the Big Sky, at least in basketball.
Their tallest 2 guys are 6'8". So they're a small team. Size-wise, on paper. Matter of fact...
it's a team that sounds like it could be run and gun, just up and down, take the 3, again, get the quick strike off it, so to speak, and we'll see what happens again. Cowboys are kind of the same way.
The Cowboys are favored by 8.
Well, again, we'll see what happens tonight. Again, this is a team that is expected to finish near dead last, just ahead of San Jose State, out of 11 teams in the Mountain West Conference, so... we'll see if they can be competitive at least against Idaho State. They should beat this team, but it might be a challenge throughout this entire, at least non-conference, and then heading into Mountain West play for the Cowboys to find a winner there, at least win or two here or there. We'll see what happens. Again, have no confidence. Again, that line, read into it, whatever it is, but again, it just. Tonight, we'll get a good understanding of what this team is made of, especially the post, at least, Justin James era there at the University of Wyoming. So, curious to see what happens again, especially this is a team that, at least under head coach Alan Edwards, which we were hoping to talk with before getting into the regular season, unfortunately, was unable to. But for head coach Alan Edwards, it's a telltale year for him, where, again, that hot seat's pretty lukewarm at this point, if not getting near fiery under him. there at the University of Wyoming, so we'll see what happens. But outside of the UW, at least scheduling for tonight, do want to mention coming up this, at least Saturday, happening here in town over at the LCCC soccer field. Central District Championship game between LCCC men's soccer, who are number 17 in the land. They are 15-3 overall. They will host the number 7 nationally ranked team, that is Marshalltown Community College, who are 14-4-1 on the season. This again happening this Saturday, November 9th. It's actually the North Central District Championship game. Again, winner will head to the NJCAA National Tournament. Kickoff is going to be at 1 o'clock again at the LCCC soccer field. So go out, go support LCCC men's soccer as they try to make it to the national tournament.
All right, we heard Coach Fangio's comments. Broncos in the bye week, by the way.
Yeah.
They return after the bye week. They go to Minnesota, and then they go to Buffalo. So
2 losses there, possibly.
A pretty good shot at losing for sure at Minnesota. Buffalo, don't know.
I think Buffalo's more talented than what you give them credit for.
I'm not taking anything away. I'm just saying it could be.
But either way, again.
But they're going to be doing it with Brandon Allen at quarterback now.
Which might be.
Flacco's done for the year.
Yeah, which is probably for the Broncos, probably the best case scenario. Again, Flacco was not the answer for this team to get at least to the promised land, to get wins. He is not that guy, hence the reason why Baltimore was happy to go with Lamar Jackson, who is paying off big dividends right now in Baltimore, especially upsetting the undefeated Patriots.
The former undefeated.
So, but either way, though, again, I mean, we got our decision where we were asking at what point in time in the season will Broncos move on from Flacco. Granted, this was more so injury, at least a situation with Flacco. But
well, we were waiting for the Drew Lock era to begin, and he's still on injury
and again,
reserve.
I said, again, a few weeks ago regarding this Broncos team that you should have put Lock out there. He's not ready for this. You don't want to put him out in the same situation where he's going to get killed like last season with one Josh Allen in Buffalo. Now, granted, Allen survived. He ran into one injury, but he's doing well for himself right now in Buffalo in year 2. But this is a guy that you want to give him time if he's going to be your franchise quarterback. Why toss him out now when this team's not doing anything this season and not even going to sniff the postseason at this point in time? So it was a smart move by the Broncos to just go with what you got right now and ride that till the end of the season. See if he can find a way to muster up some wins, pull off some upsets, so to speak, in this Broncos 2019 schedule. We'll see what happens. But, again, Broncos at home, you got lucky against the Browns. Browns had their opportunities. The
Browns stink.
The Browns this is a franchise that is back to being pretty terrible, making bad decisions.
And especially their head coaching position.
Yeah, without a doubt. And again, you go back to that fourth quarter where Browns were at least moving down. They had a shot to take the lead or at least get an opportunity in that contest.
The fourth down play was terrible that they
the fourth down play where, again, you went out and picked up a guy, you gave him big money. He's your big money receiver, OBJ. He was wide open. You didn't give the guy an opportunity.
Yeah. You
went with the questionable call that you did that cost you the turnover. And again, Broncos get that victory there, at least in the waning moments of the fourth quarter. Again, Browns, like I said, Broncos, congrats. You got the win. But you got the win due to the fact that the Cleveland Browns are they're
a very dysfunctional team. All last week, even when I was down at Phoenix, and again, the guy that I bunked with during the week, we were on ESPN watching sports all week, and I mean the soap opera that is the Cleveland Browns right now with Coach Kitchens, Baker Mayfield, OBJ. It is a joke. I mean, it is an absolute joke in Cleveland right now. The play calling is not good. Baker Mayfield is suffering from that ever-lovely sophomore slump. OBJ is not getting enough footballs thrown his way.
I think Baker Mayfield, again, he's no longer the fresh new face where folks have felt. It's kind of that rookie pitcher where, hey, you don't know what his stuff is going to be, how much gas he's going to put on it, and you're going to whiff a few times. But after you see him a couple times, all right, we figure out what you're going to do, how you play, and we take care of business. I think that's what we're seeing right now.
The second half of the season, you're going to see him basically, like you said, the rookie pitcher. Then they start teeing off on him. Anyway,
you're already seeing that now. That's why, again, Baker Mayfield, as everyone kind of dogged on him of being that number 1 overall pick, more so for the size and height, it's now kind of at least – the case is being made for those who were against him being the number 1 pick or saying, hey, he's the end-all, be-all for the Cleveland Browns. again, he certainly is not, and he's not looking like that franchise quarterback.
No, and again, the problem with Cleveland is the lack of leadership. The lack of leadership on the field and with management. So, again, that spells disaster for that franchise right now. They're going nowhere but down. Going back to the Broncos, Brendan Allen, who the former Razorback quarterback, is going to be pretty much the man in charge.
Which is smart.
For the remainder of the season.
That's smart.
And his backup is former Boise State quarterback Brett Ripien. So luckily the Broncos had 4 QBs because Brett was with the taxi squad.
Yeah.
In
like
Broncos
I said, there is
camp.
no need to rush Locke out there. That
No.
is the dumbest move that the Broncos can make. Be happy with what you got right now. Again, you do have another one behind him, an option as well. There is no need to send Locke again, the guy who has been touted as a future franchise quarterback for the Broncos. You don't feed him to the Wolves now. Let him develop. Let him learn the system under Coach Fangio and see what he's got in year 2, year 3 of at least his tenure there with the Denver Broncos. But, hey, at least credit to at least, the Broncos, like I said, they got it done. You got it done at home, so a little momentum, a little positivity heading into the bye week. Things, at least for the Broncos, to get at least offense shirt up, defense shirt up, injuries to kind of at least get a few pieces back for that Broncos team, and then focus on Minnesota. So at least the bye came at a pretty okay time.
Yeah, it's needed by the Broncos. Matter of fact, going back to Drew Lock, as I'm looking here at John Elway's comments, he said here last week that Lock is expected to return to practice, which would be after the bye week and probably week 11. So probably a couple of weeks away from him just returning to practice with that injured thumb. So you're right. There's no sense even going with him. Allen's a 3-year vet. He's been in the National Football League. He was drafted originally by Jacksonville, so the Broncos have him. He didn't look that bad. I will give him that much. He looked pretty
Anything's
confident
better than
out
what you
there.
had with Flacco at this point.
Well, yeah, he's more mobile. And again, the thing with most offenses these days, Nick, and I think you've seen enough football as well. The quarterbacks need to roam.
Yeah,
they need to boot, and unfortunately, Flacco's not a boot quarterback anymore.
You could name it down the list of Jimmy G with San Francisco, Kyler Murray with the Arizona Cardinals. You look at with Buffalo with Josh Allen, he certainly can get it done.
Brady's probably the last.
Mahomes could get it done, but
I know, but Brady's
injured,
like the last of those quarterbacks that can stay in the pocket. But he can also feel the rush and step aside. But let's be real. The Patriots' offense, along with their defense, is pretty good. They did run into a brick wall. They were the Baltimore Ravens this past weekend. But for the most part, Brady's protection pretty much holds out throughout the course of a football game.
And we'll talk about that Sunday night game because, again, that, in my opinion, does not mean a whole lot other than at least it means that the Patriots' undefeated season is no more. But
that means there's only one left.
Well, and again, that one that remains had a close one in Arizona against the Cardinals. Again, that would be the 49ers. I don't know what you're doing right now because no one can see it or even hear.
I'm showing you the 49ers.
Anyways, again, as I deal with that over there. But, again, the 49ers come away with a close victory on Thursday Night Football against the Arizona Cardinals. 8-game losing streak snapped finally for the 49ers to remain 8-0 on this season. Again, Niners now sit on a sort of semi-bye week because, again, they got to wait until Monday Night Football where the true test, or at least the first test for this Niners team, to see the at least Seattle Seahawks.
And, the Seahawks, give them their due. They came back and won in overtime as they actually took that opening drive in overtime all the way down against.
Yeah, but again,
against
at home against
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But again, the Buccaneers, we said this about them. They are a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde team. One weekend, they absolutely stink. The next weekend, they're world beaters.
Yeah, but Seattle, you have no business in overtime.
But Russell Wilson, again, long as you have Russell Wilson.
Seattle is the same where, again, you hear the arguments against the 49ers of, hey, this is not a true 8-0 team. They haven't been tested yet. Again, Seattle has been tested, and they lost in the situation against the Baltimore Ravens where that was their true test and we saw their true colors. Again, this is a Seattle team that I don't believe in. This is a Seattle team that is yet to prove to me that, okay, yeah, you won against Buccaneers. It's not impressive, though. It wasn't impressive.
I think
you've had close calls against Pittsburgh, against the Buccaneers. You had close calls. It seems like damn near every game right now, other than the 2 losses at the Seattle Seahawks.
Again, Russell Wilson still is the premier quarterback of the NFL. He's got a good offense.
No.
No.
I mean,
I disagree.
He's
the
good.
Defense,
Is he a premier? No.
The defense is not that good. Now, again, Russell Wilson can hurt you still with the run. He's still one of your best RPO quarterbacks in the National Football League. Absolutely. He's got good weapons, but the defense is more suspect than it's been in years past.
Yeah, without a doubt. Again, a lot of those vets moving on or if not aging out and, again, dealing with a lot of young up-and-coming talent with the Seahawks. But, again, that is going to be the big matchup coming up this Monday between Seattle and the 49ers where –
and this is at Levi, so
yeah.
I feel pretty comfortable. I shouldn't say I feel comfortable. Do I feel the 49ers should win? Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think so. I think that 49ers have proven that they are the more talented team than Seattle, that this is a 49ers team. Again, it's a team where you read between the lines for the 49ers. Again, they have one of the easiest strengths of schedule in all of the NFL, but, hey,
that's what you get for winning 4 or 5 games.
That's what you get, and, hey, they're taking advantage of it. Again, they're proving that they're going to win every game, whether it's blowing out teams or just taking care of business when, again, you're up by 3 against the Arizona Cardinals on the road. So either way, though, again, Niners still undefeated. They are the only remaining undefeated team in the NFL at 8-0. But
all right, well, so you
moving on to Sunday's action.
You talk about their easy schedule. So we got the Monday night game against the Seahawks. Then they get the Cardinals again. That was no cakewalk. I watched that one down there.
Yeah, but it'll be a different I think with Cardinals moving to Levi's, that's going to be a different story. Again, you had your shot there in the toaster oven. Different story is going to be at least said coming up in Levi's.
Now, here, see, after the Cardinals, this is and I'm glad they get them at home. They get the Packers at Levi's.
That's going to be a good one.
Then they got to go to Baltimore. Now, and really, Baltimore raised their eyebrows. They're not that bad of an outfit
Again, Baltimore has quality wins.
At their home.
Yeah, but Baltimore is a very finicky team as well, too, where it's like, why are you losing to this team? But, you can defeat the undefeated Patriots. You beat Seattle. It's a Baltimore team. I don't know what to make of.
Well, and they could be the
is Baltimore again? Baltimore defeating the Patriots at Sunday Night Football, and we'll just get to it right now.
Well, let me say
are
this:
the Ravens the best team in the NFL because of that?
No. But here's the deal too with the Ravens. They may have that opportunity by the time that the 49ers arrive in Baltimore, where the Niners could be just for giggles. They could be 11-0. And they may have that second opportunity to drop off another number, an undefeated.
And the fortunate thing for the 49ers as well, too, is this is a team that's taken advantage of these kind of this wacky week of Thursday Night Football to now playing on Monday night where they're starting to get their big pieces back, whether it is McClinchy and also Joe Staley. It's a team that's now getting healthier, getting big names back that were question marks on that line, if not on the defense as well, too, and a few specialists as well, too, for Jimmy G to look at. This is now a situation that, okay, you got the full team here, and what a perfect time to now be tested against the Seattle Seahawks, granted, albeit at home, so at least you don't have to travel up to CenturyLink Field to see that team on Monday night. But either way, though, right now, it's kind of right now, fates are aligning for this 49ers team to do something special here in 2019.
Yeah, and again, as I look at the second half of their schedule, I look at 2 tough games, back-to-back, at Baltimore, at New Orleans. I think those are going to be their 2 supreme tests. Should they beat the Falcons? Yeah, they get the Rams at home. They got the Falcons at home, by the way. And then they wrap up at CenturyLink Field, right after Christmas against Seahawks. But their 2 biggest tests are going to come the first week of December 1 and December.
Well, their biggest test as well, too. You might as well add in Green Bay, too. Again, let's not discredit the Packers.
Yeah, but they got them at Levi's. And after what I saw with the L.A. Chargers,
I don't know what to make anymore.
Yeah, but the Packers looked absolutely out of sync And the 49ers defense is, as far as I'm concerned, after watching, and again, you can say what you want to say about the Thursday night game, how close it was, but that 49ers defense is pretty damn active.
Yeah.
And again, you got to get two guys on Bosa. That's going to leave somebody freed up. Nick Bosa is a one-man wrecking crew.
And he has been this year, and he has a good case of being maybe Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Again, he's going to find some honors, if not making it to the Pro Bowl, of what he's been doing for the 49ers, so we'll see about that. But, again, moving out of the NFC.
But let me just roll one last thing, too, on San Francisco. Watching that game, and again, we saw our first look at Emmanuel Sanders in a 49ers uniform.
Well, that is game 2.
His second game, but, the national spotlight. You can't tell me that Sanders is not happy to be out of Denver right now.
Yeah, you can tell that without a doubt.
Yeah, he's definitely with the winner right now, and guess what? Jimmy Garoppolo has already focused in on him.
Oh, yeah, he's found him quite a few times, and again, has joined him as a brand new kind of plaything, so to speak, out there on the field, where he spotlighted him, especially in crucial moments there against the Arizona Cardinals on that Thursday night game. But again, moving away from that Thursday night game, looking at a few notables of Sunday. Texans taking care of Jaguars in Jacksonville handily, no surprise there. Buffalo taking care of business against the Redskins handily in Buffalo, no surprise there. Chiefs coming away with a close one at home against the at least Minnesota Vikings. Again, it is without Patrick Mahomes, but Chiefs still find a way. That's tad bit surprising. Again, at least it tells me that the Chiefs are a good outfit, even with Mahomes sitting on the sideline for as long as he's going to be. So at least that was a notable one. Dolphins, hey, congrats. You're not going to go 0-16. You got one. At home against the Jets.
You beat a team about as bad as you.
Yeah. So we won't have an 0-16 team. So at least congrats to Miami for finally getting one. Eagles and Bears, what do
you say about the Bears?
Bears, clearly.
What do you say?
Trubisky is not that end-all, be-all quarterback of what we thought last year. Bears are clearly taking a step back, and kudos to the Eagles getting it done at home. Eagles who have a shot. I don't know what to make of this Eagles team. Are they the best team in the NFC East? I think so, especially after what we saw last night and Monday night.
They still have to knock off Dallas.
Yeah,
they haven't done
but
that.
Dallas is very beatable. Dallas is nothing too special as well, too. Again, the NFC East is is the worst division in all of at least NFL football. But moving on, Steelers at home taking care of business against the Colts. Tad bit surprising, the Steelers, where again they're on the outside looking into the playoffs, where this is a Steelers team that looked like they were just going to be probably a top 10 draft pick.
Well, and again, Brissett got injured in this game.
Yeah.
Now, if I understand things right, Brissett is available for this weekend, but they got Miami.
So Hoyer, why rush him?
Yeah. Now Hoyer he'll get the call, but if he starts being, the quarterback
if they get down big to Miami, I think Brissett would come into that contest. So we'll see about that. Panthers getting it done at home against the Tennessee Titans. Again, Titans they're pathetic.
And Carolina
without Cam Newton now officially he's
on IR.
He's on IR. So Panthers that season might just go into tailspin now.
But amidst that season being so bad, how about Christian McCaffrey?
He's a stud. Without a doubt, he is leading that team. He is the guy that's carrying this team on his back, without a doubt. Cam Newton has, even with being on IR, it's really not a big loss in all honesty, because Cam Newton has been non-existent this season.
Yeah.
So, again, for Carolina, we'll see what they do now post, at least Cam Newton being on IR. Raiders, this game taking on the Detroit Lions.
This was ugly.
Raiders are not good. That Detroit's not good.
Matthew Stafford throws for 406 yards, and the Lions still can't win. This team, Matt Patricia.
I thought Detroit had a good shot at. They should have won this game.
They should have won it, but Matt Patricia is a good defensive coordinator. I'm really doubting his head coaching abilities right now.
Again, it's early on so far
in
Detroit,
staff.
But they've been competitive in most games, again, albeit they lost by 7 points on the road against
That's
Oakland.
What they need to do. They need to win. This is not. You do have a top-tier quarterback in Matthew Stafford.
Yeah,
and the guy.
But his talent's been wasted for many years in Detroit.
He's doing everything, and you still can't get a win.
Again, maybe it was the Oakland Coliseum magic out there. Again, Raiders had no business winning that game, but they still got it done. Again, as we mentioned, Seattle overtime defeating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 40-34. Broncos getting the win against the Browns at home. Chargers with the big upset at home. It was at home, so it wasn't at Lambeau, but again, it was there in Los Angeles, 26-11 against the Green Bay Packers. This game, it was just watching it was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, where are the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah, what happened?
Who's
here?
pretending to be on the field?
Was it a situation that
helmets?
Green Bay overlooked L.A., saying, hey, this Chargers team is pretty terrible this season, that they aren't that upper echelon team that everyone thought they were in the preseason? Is it something that Green Bay just kind of walked in and said, we got this. We don't even need to do anything here in Carson, and we'll get away. We'll come away with the victory.
And I think you're probably on the right track. They might have overlooked.
I think that's what happened.
LA Chargers.
The Chargers are not the better team against the Green Bay Packers, even at home, without a doubt.
And we already talked about New England and Baltimore. Last night's game,
the highlight from that game was the cat running on the field.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I actually was so bored with that game. I fell asleep about the early part of the third quarter. It was boring, just boring.
Yeah, the Cowboys. I mean, I still think they'll win. They'll win the NFC East, but the Cowboys are not a good outfit. They are not. That is a team that's going to be an early exit in the playoffs. When they get there, I still think that Eagles could give it a shot. But it really doesn't matter. Again, you're whoever wins the NFC East, you're that early exit team. You're that guaranteed loss.
They might even get beat by the wild card team. That's how bad the East is.
I think that's a good possibility. But as we have a chance right now to look at the standings right now, again, you do have at least even with the loss, New England still sits atop 8-1, but hot on their heels is the Buffalo Bills at 6-2,
who have the easier schedule now.
Yeah. They'll still have one more matchup with at least with New England as well.
They got to go there.
Yeah, they got to go to Foxborough for that contest.
But they're sitting pretty good for that wild card right now.
Yeah. So again, that's a two-team race because again, you got Miami and New York with the Jets 1-7. Baltimore taking care of business in the AFC North. I guess somewhat on the hills is the Pittsburgh Steelers at 4-4. But
hey, Mason Rudolph.
No,
I don't know.
Pittsburgh's not going to do anything. I really don't think so. I think Baltimore has that wrapped up at 6-2. AFC South is still interesting, even with Tennessee looking pathetic and Jacksonville nothing too special. But again, only 2 games separate those two teams from Houston. That's at 6-3. Indy is 5-3, and again, Jacksonville, Tennessee 4-5.
And then mentioned J.J. Watt is out for the rest of the year too.
Yeah,
he had
that's true too.
Was it pectoral, if I'm not mistaken?
I don't know.
I know.
But I know, yeah, he's out.
He's out for the rest of
the year. He didn't play in that game.
He walked off the field and went to the hospital. That's what he did.
Yeah, he didn't play in that game against at least the Jags. Again, they didn't really need to. They easily could take care of business without J.J. Watt, but we'll see how that plays out for the Texans. And then in the AFC West, Kansas City sits at 6-3. Again, on their heels, so to speak, is Oakland 4-4. Again, could Oakland take advantage of that? Patrick Mahomes is out right now for Kansas City. We'll see. Chargers 4-5, and Denver sits at 3-6. And then looking at the NFC right now, on the east side, Dallas has the lead 5-3. Philly behind them 5-4. At least the Giants 2-7, and the Washington Redskins at 1-8. NFC North. This one's down to pretty much 2 teams between Green Bay and Minnesota. Green Bay sits at 7-2. Minnesota is 6-3. Detroit and Chicago share at 3 wins. Again, the only difference is the one tie compared to at least the extra loss for the Chicago Bears. South, it's 2 teams as well.
You put the Panthers in there?
They still got a shot. We'll see what happens. I think it's still, again, I believe that New Orleans wins that division without a doubt, and I don't think Carolina makes it to at least a wild card, but it is still something that Carolina is 2 games behind them. New Orleans 7-1, Carolina 5-3, Tampa Bay at 2-6, Atlanta at 1-7 as one of the biggest surprises in the NFL. Just how pathetic they are.
Biggest disappointment.
And then in the NFC West, again, the 49ers undefeated at 8-0 that lead the NFL with the best record. Again, they are right now leading the Seattle at least Seahawks 7-2. At least Los Angeles Rams sits at 5-3, and the Arizona Cardinals 3-5-1 overall. So that's kind of the updated standings
And,
right
and
now.
you really can't discount the Rams. I know they got some problems, and they did
Rams
make
are
some
not making it to the postseason.
I know they made some trades before the trade deadline.
Those trades have not done squat.
I understand, but they technically are still in the running for an outside wild card. They got a lot of damage control they got to take care of
Yet
right
they're
now.
tied with the Carolina Panthers, and you go, oh, okay, the Panthers have no shot.
No,
Again,
Panthers
Panthers are still with
right
it.
now. I look at the Vikings as a wild card team and Seattle. That's
that's true. Yeah.
So you only take 2 wild cards. So
Yeah, I don't think LA is, and Carolina isn't either. So.
Yeah, the Rams are going to have to do some serious
Your
damage
wild
control.
cards out of the AFC, I think Buffalo, without a doubt. I think Buffalo has a good shot of being a wild card. And then you look at Indianapolis, possibly. Could it be the Oakland Raiders find some magic? I don't know. I highly doubt it. But right now it's looking like Indy, and then also to Buffalo. Could Pittsburgh have a late season surge?
Never count them out. Never
we'll
count them
see.
out. All right. Well, we do need to take a timeout. We're way past break time. We'll be back after this right here on 1480 KRAE. The team at Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Delrange, directly across from Powers Field and Menards, are proud sponsors of the student-athletes for the 2019-2020 school year for high school and LCCC. Not only do they support the athletes, but they are ready for your next cater-out event, meeting, or gathering. A special thank you to Chick-fil-A and all they do for 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYOI-FM during the year. For more information, call Chick-fil-A at 638-4444.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
At Platte Valley Bank, we love to see our customers come through the door. Well, we know life can be busy and you don't always have time to come to the bank. That's why we offer user-friendly online and mobile banking products with features such as bill pay, recurring transfers, mobile deposit, and now digital wallet. At Platte Valley Bank, you can manage your money how you want, when you want. Whether you prefer to bank in person, over the phone, or online, Platte Valley Bank makes it easy to take care of your finances.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
B&B Appliance and TV has been your locally owned appliance store for 49 years. Not only do we offer several major brands, we also service what we sell. And we have the largest parts department in Laramie County. Next time you're in a big box store, just ask to see their parts and service department. Then come visit the appliance experts at B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Best brands, hometown service.
Are you thinking about buying a new water heater? You could spend $1,300 or more on a gas-fired water heater. Or you could spend $0 on a top-of-the-line electric water heater from High West Energy. That's right, $0. High West members can upgrade from gas to electric without spending a penny. Don't you wish all decisions were this easy? Go to highwestenergy.com to learn more or call 307-245-3261. High West Energy, the best choice, the local choice, the right choice for you.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be sunny with highs around 53 and winds out the west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. If it's tonight, it'll be clear skies with lows around 27. On Wednesday, it'll be partly cloudy with highs around 39. And on Wednesday night, it'll be cloudy with lows around 19.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
It's time to play the game.
We're with you for a few more minutes as we get to wrap up here a few minutes early today, but we do want to mention coming up our newest program, which will be from 8 until 9. I'm sorry I forgot it already.
I don't know why you don't do your research. How about Space Patrol?
Space Patrol from 8
1480KRAE.com/golden is where you can find the Golden Age at least lineup per day of what show is going to be at least played that day. Again, the show title as well, or either it's on 1480KRAE, the Facebook page as well, too, where we at least make a post of it of what's upcoming this week on the Golden Age of radio.
And that'll be from 8 until 9. From 9 until 10, we'll have our Suspense Theater. Best of the 50s and 60s also to entertain you as you are making the ride home. Beginning at 5 o'clock, you're already home. Well, you're kicking back, enjoying. You probably pop open a cool one and listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today. Baseball. You're already checked out on baseball, right? Because it's over?
Yeah, it's over. I mean, we got plenty of other things to focus on right now. Again, whether it is we got high school football, we got NFL football, we got basketball starting up.
We're
got
talking
basketball.
free agents that are going to be going bye-bye.
I'm talking about I got regular seasons to deal with right now that I got to focus on. And again, we're getting college basketball underway soon with us as well too with LCCC basketball. I got bigger and better things to focus on.
Well, unlike you,
I got high school basketball as well too on the radar.
There's going to be guys wearing different uniforms next year. And again, what you saw yesterday during the free agent season, I guess, were teams making qualifying offers. For example, I'll use Mad Bum from the Giants. The Giants offered him, we'll just say, $17.5 million. He has the option to exercise his option, saying yay, nay. And matter of fact, I'm looking right now at the Giants roster. He's not even on the roster for next season
because he has to sign a contract. Again, he was the final year, so he is a free agent, so to speak. So they're working in contract negotiations.
But for the world champion, Washington Nationals, they got two problems. And now, understand this, the Nationals ownership has money. They're not poor.
Well,
Okay.
they're going to have more money now due to the fact that they won the World Series, and again, that's going to open up all brand deals and everything else.
But you got Strasburg. And ask yourself this question. If you could only keep one, is it Rendon or is it Strasburg?
Again, if it's going to be one, it's going to be Rendon because Strasburg has come out and said, or at least through the weave work and again, looking to social media sites, it sounds like Strasburg doesn't want to be a National anymore.
He wants to go to SoCal.
He's done.
He wants to go to San Diego?
I guess. Well, again, it makes sense, though. Again, he's a former San Diego State Aztec, so why not return back to where, again, he's well known, can go play with an up-and-coming team with the Padres, maybe do something special, again, a team that has been building towards the future. It makes sense in some aspects of what that decision was, but, yeah, it sounds like that for Steven Strasburg, he said, hey, I got your one. I'm done.
Well,
thank you.
For the Nationals, they got to start right away at $30 million for both Strasburg and Rendon if you're planning to keep them.
I think there's no point to keep or at least even offer to Strasburg. Again, he's been vocal of saying, I want out, so why put the time and the effort? He knows what he wants to do, then let him go.
Yeah. A guy like Mad Bum, if he's to come back to the Giants, don't know. He's in the market right now for something stable, 6-7 year deal, probably to the tune near $140 million. Mm-hmm. That's what Mad Bum is going to go after. Also, the Yankees did not exercise their option on Didi Gregorius.
Yeah.
And yes, and I was also
if the Yankees lose him, it's not a big loss.
I was really miffed yesterday, and I was watching the Baseball Network, and the awards are being handed out. Okay, for example, he won his 7th consecutive Gold Glove. Nolan Arenado for the Rockies.
No surprise.
But they have their MVP voting. They have their Manager of the Year,
which we haven't talked about it again. That's all underway. But
what bothers me, as you saw the finalists come out in the American League. And they were harping about it a lot last night, and I agree. DJ LeMahieu's name is not even mentioned in the final 3 for MVP. You got it
again without seeing who's at least in the MVP running. Again, DJ LeMahieu.
He carried the Yankees. Again, he was an everyday Yankee.
Okay, let's be honest. Again, that does not matter when it comes to the MVP. I go back years ago when I told you and everyone else that at least not even DJ LeMahieu,
It was
but again,
Charlie Blackman
and Nolan Arenado were up for that MVP, and they had that opportunity. Guess who they lost to? The guy that hit, a record, or at least a near record-setting, at least home run down in Miami with a pathetic Marlins team that didn't go to the postseason, that was just dead last year in the NL East. He won the MVP. That does not mean, again, DJ LeMahieu, let's not discredit what he did with the Yankees. Yes, he found revitalization out there in New York, getting away from Colorado. Again, kind of the friendlier confines for him. It kind of revised his career. DJ LeMahieu, again, that's not going to be squat to voters. It's pretty much of who garnered the most headlines, who was that big name throughout MLB this season. DJ LeMahieu was a guy that kind of sat below the radar, did it quietly, and just got it done.
Yeah. I mean, again.
Does he deserve the MVP? Yeah, his name should be in there.
He should be in there for consideration.
We know how this voting works for the MVP. That doesn't mean squat. It does not mean anything to these voters.
Another big name decided to take the final 3 years of his contract. I think it's going to be worth around $62.5 million. J.D. Martinez with the Boston Red Sox. Think about it. The guy's aging. He's not an outfielder anymore. You might as well stay where you can be a DH.
Well, again, he's beloved out there in Boston, so it makes sense. So, all right. Again, yeah, I guess you take your money. Again, as an aging vet, there you go. You have that opportunity to DH and do whatever you can for the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, and again, make $62 million. So just throwing some baseball notes out there that happened yesterday. There was also something else that came across.
And again, there's a lot of big free agents on the market, whether it's Zach Wheeler for the Phillies, Josh Donaldson with the Rangers, again, Bumgarner as well, too. We'll see with Grandal, at least from the Brewers. We'll see what happens this offseason. Moves or at least players will be at least doled out. And again, new teams will find, or at least teams will find new guys. That's just part of baseball. We know that's eventually going to happen, but it's pretty much of will San Diego land a Strasburg? Will Madison Bumgarner leave as he, will no longer be a Giant? We'll see what happens with a few other big names of will they remain with their teams or find some greener pastures with someone else?
And you're laughing because you got other things to think about. Before you know it, winter meetings are going to be coming up here in next month, and that's where a lot of things do happen at times, especially on getting free agents and what have you. Looking at all the other things too, you're going to have Manager of the Year coming up. It's interesting. Davey Martinez with the Washington Nationals, not even in consideration for Manager of the Year.
Don't ask me. I don't know.
Oh, no, it's just, again, think about that.
The awards don't mean anything. The postseason awards by the MLB, it's really of a joke at this point in time. Who cares? No one really cares at this point in time. It is a complete joke. Again, it's up to these goofball writers and folks who decide of who's determining. Again, should he win at least Manager of the Year? Yeah, without a doubt. He took a team that was dead last, below 500, and got him all the way to the promised land for the first ever championship.
All of this stuff that's under consideration is all before the playoffs.
Okay, again, go back to the playoffs before this team even entered the wild card. They were sub 500. They had no shot.
They were 19-31.
They had no prayer to make it to the postseason. Yeah, found a way to get in the wild card. That's in the regular season, and then afterwards, yeah, he won the championship. I think that's not bad for a guy who managed to turn around a team midway through the season to get into the postseason.
A couple other things here, too, as we get ready.
And you did it without one Bryce Harper as well, too, who's been kind of the key piece.
And you should see the list of free agents on Philadelphia's roster. I counted last night. I think they have about 8 or 9 free agents that are going to be wanting to leave, and I think they're going to leave. Real quick here, 2 questions. The one question that came up was, can the rookie manager, David Ross, fix the Cubs? Again, former Cub.
We'll see. I don't know. On that situation, I don't know what's going on with Chicago.
And who's going to skipper in San Francisco? They have talked to a lot of people. They even brought back Gabe Kapler for a second interview.
All right.
But
again, what the Giants do, what their direction is, what their focus is on, I really don't know. Again, you have that brand new GM, or at least now heading into the second season, now at least with the former Dodger exec now heading with the Giants. I don't know what to make of this guy. Again, the guy who was tossed around of, hey, we're going to get rid of Smith, we're going to get rid of Madison Bumgarner, we're going to move all these pieces and just focus on the future, decided to stand pat and go, okay, we're committed. A team that was around the trade deadline had a good shot of making the postseason, had a good shot of being a wild card. I don't know. I really don't know.
All right.
Again, same with the Chicago Cubs. That collapse, was it Joe Maddon's fault? I highly doubt it. I think the Cubs probably have a lot bigger behind-the-scenes issues than what we realize.
I think what Theo did there in Chicago, it's going to come back to haunt them. Not that David Ross is a bad cat. I think he's a nice guy.
I think the players will relate with David Ross. And again, he's beloved by Chicago, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. I just think there's something in the clubhouse that caused that collapse that we're not privy to.
I guess. All right, we do need to wrap things up here on our side. We're going to be back at it again tomorrow, so do join us for Wyoming Sports